Hello, good morning to all of you. I hope all of you are doing well. So, in today's class, we are going to learn about overloading. Now, overloading basically refers to a situation where two or more members have same name but differ in the number or type of parameters that are provided to it. Now, this particular situation is referred to as overloading in C++. Now, what we can do is we can overload function, we can overload operators. So it's called as operator overloading, and the other one's called as function overloading. Now, let us start with operator overloading. Now, C++ has the ability to provide operators with special meaning for a given data type. This is known as operator overloading, right? So, operator overloading is a type of polymorphism in which operator is overloaded in order to perform some user-defined or in order to provide some user-defined meaning to it. Operator overloading can be used in order to perform operations on user-defined data type. Okay. Operator overloading is used in order to overload or redefine most of the operators available in C++, but we'll also discuss the list of the operators that cannot be overloaded. Now, operator overloading is same as the operator functions are same as that of the normal functions. The only difference are the name of the operator function is always placed with the help of a keyword that is called as operator, followed by the symbol of the operator, and the operator function are also called when the corresponding operator is used. Okay, now what does it basically mean is operator functions are same as that of normal functions, right? So here, but instead of function name, what we have to do is we need to provide the operator keyword, and along with the operator keyword, what we need to do is we need to provide the operator. Okay, we need to provide the symbol of the operator. So whenever operator functions are called, what we need to do is we need to provide the corresponding operator only, right? So we'll try to understand it with the help of an example, but for now, just remember it is similar to that of a normal function, but here instead of using using a named function, what we do is we use a keyword operator in combination with the operator symbol, and then we'll use the operator symbol in order to call that particular function. So some of the operators that cannot be overloaded in C++ are scope resolution operator, size of operator, member selection operator, member pointer selection operator, and ternary operator. So these are the operators that cannot be overloaded in case of C++. Now let us try to understand with the help of the syntax. So here what I have is I have the return type of the function. I have the class name to which the operator function belongs to. Then you have the operator keyword, and then we have the operator, right? We have the argument list, and we have the function of the body. So this is the way how what we can do is we can define the operator function outside the class. So we have the return type. So this is very much similar, but only difference here is we have the keyword operator, and following the keyword operator we have the operator itself, right? Again, now implementation of operator overloading in C++, right? So now operator overloading can be done by implementing a function, which can be, so it can be a member function or it can be a friend function. So it can be a member function or it can be a friend function. So member function, no arguments for unary and one argument for binary operator. So whenever you are having operator function as a member function, then you need to have no argument for unary operator and one argument for binary operator, right? So example is cited here. Okay, likewise, if it's a friend function, then one argument for unary and two argument for binary operator. So this is very much important, you need to remember. So whenever you're trying to overload an operator, then it can be done, overloading of operator can be done using the member function or it can be done using the friend function. So if it's a member function, what you need to have is you need to have no arguments for unary operator and one argument for binary operator. And if it's through friend function, what you need to have is you need to have one argument for unary operator and two arguments for binary operator. So here the example is also cited. So here operator plus, okay, right? So here what we have is we have an operator plus. So what we have is we have one argument, okay, one argument in case of a binary operator. So if you consider plus to be a binary operator, so what we're doing is we're passing one argument to it, okay, right? So friend vector operator, so we have a binary operator, so we are providing two argument to it, because whenever we are performing operator overloading using friend function, what we need to have is we need to have two argument for the binary operator, right? So this is the way how the implementation is done. So here for binary operator plus, we are having one argument. For binary operator plus, in case of friend function, we are having two arguments. Now there are certain restrictions on operator overloading in C++. So following are some of the restrictions. So precedence and associativity of the operator cannot be changed. So this is very much important. So you must have heard about precedence, that is the priority of the operator, and the associativity is the applicability of the operator. So precedence and associativity operator cannot be changed. Number of operands cannot be changed in case of operator overloading. So unary operator remains unary, binary operator remains binary. So this is very much important. So precedence and associativity cannot be changed. Number of operands cannot be changed. New operators can be created. Only existing operators can be overloaded. No new operators can be created, only existing operator can be overloaded. So as we have learned, there are a set of operators that can be overloaded, and there are a set of operators that cannot be overloaded. So no new operators can be created. So cannot redefine the meaning of the procedure. You cannot change how integers are added. So that is also very true. This is also what we've learned. So we cannot change the meaning of the operation, the very purpose of the operator, right, or the operation that the operator performs. So these are the few notable restrictions on operator overloading. So precedence and associativity cannot be changed. Number of operands cannot be changed. No new operators can be created, and only the existing operators can be overloaded. And what we cannot do is we cannot redefine the meaning of the procedure. Now, rules for operator overloading. Now, the first rule is existing operators can be overloaded, but the new operators cannot be overloaded. So this is what we have already learned. The overloaded operator contains at least one operand of user-defined data type. Okay, we cannot use friend function to overload certain operators. However, the member function can be used in order to overload those operators. So if time provides, we'll provide a list for that as well. So when unary operators are overloaded through a member function, then it does not explicitly take any argument, but if it's overloaded through friend function, it takes one argument. So this is what we have learned. And when a binary operator is overloaded through a member function, it takes in one explicit argument, and if it's overloaded through friend function, it takes two explicit arguments. So this is what we've learned. So rules for operator overloading. So existing operators can be overloaded. No new operators can be overloaded. The operator overloading contains at least one operand of the user-defined data type. We cannot use friend function for a set of operators, whereas member function can be used for the same. And this we have already learned. When a unary operators are overloaded, we need to have through a member function, there will be no explicit argument. If it's done through friend function, we'll have one explicit argument. And if a binary operator is overloaded through member function, what we need to have is we need to have one explicit argument. And if it's overloaded through friend function, what we need to have is we need to have two explicit arguments. So till now, what we have learned about is we have learned about what is overloading. Okay, we have learned about different types of overloading. We have learned about operator overloading, right? Okay, and we have learned about what are the operators that can be overloaded, cannot be overloaded, and we've learned about the syntax for operator overloading. We've learned about how operator overloading can be implemented in C++, and we have learned about restrictions on operator overloading as well as rules for operator overloading. So let us try to understand it with the help of an example. So in the first case, what we are trying to do is we're trying to overload a unary operator. Now, a unary operator can be overloaded either with the help of a member function or a friend function. So this is what we have learned. So here what we are trying to do is we are trying to overload a unary operator with the help of a member function. So we have already learned that whenever a member function, a unary operator is overloaded through member function, then it has to have no explicit argument placed to it. So here I have a class val. So I have three integer values in the private section of the class v1, v2, and v3, and I have a function to get data. Okay, to get data, I'm passing three integer values. right? And what I have is I have a display function and I have a operator minus. So what it's capable of doing is it's capable of negating the values of the variables that are passed to it. So it's declared in the public section of the class, right? Okay, now this is here, since we are overloading a minus operator using the member function. So what don't have is I don't have any parameters passed to it, so there's no argument. You see here, there's no argument to it, right? So now what I've done is I've defined the get data function outside the class. So this is the way how you can define the get data. So I am providing to the function get data three different values, a, b, and c. A, b, and c is getting initialized to the private data members, that is v1, v2, and v3. Now, likewise, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to display the contents of v1, v2, and v3. So I have the display function being defined outside the class, right? Okay, and then what I'm doing is I'm defining the function operator, right? Okay, minus, right, where it's capable of negating the values of v1 and v2 and v3. So v1 is replaced with minus of v1, v2 is replaced with minus of v2, and v3 is replaced with minus of v3. So now what I have is I have the main function being defined here. So here s is the object of type value, where value is a class, right? Now s dot get data, so I'm getting the data 1, minus 2, and minus 3. So 1, minus 2, and minus 3 will be placed in a, b, and c. That will be initialized to v1, v2, and v3. So v1, v2, and v3 will be 1, minus 2, and 3. Now I'm displaying the content. So cout, so I'm displaying the content of s. So it will print 1, minus 2, and 1, minus 2, and 3, right? Then I'm calling the function, calling the overloaded function. So as we have already learned that whenever we are calling a overloaded function or a function, what we need to do is we need to provide the name of the object and the symbol, right? So that is what we have learned. Just see, if you remember, if you go back here, so right, so here the name of an operator function is always followed by, it always has an operator keyword followed by a symbol of the operator, and the operator functions are called when the corresponding operator is used. Now just see here, what we have done is we have used the operator along with the object. So here what it will do, it will make a function call to this particular function, that is operator minus. Okay, and then again I'm displaying the content of the members of object s. So whenever I will display the members of the object s, it will give me, so since it is negating the values, the previous values, so the previous values were 1, minus 2, and 3. Now it will display minus 1, 2, and 3, because here minus 1 will be replaced with minus 1, 2 will be replaced with minus 2 will be replaced with minus 2, that is 2, and 3 will be replaced with minus 3. So here what I'll have is I'll have minus 1, 2, and 3. Now this is the way how what we can do is we can use the overloaded operators in order to perform operation. Now let us discuss about, so again I'll repeat it. So in this case what I have is I have a class by the name value, where we have three private members. Okay, we have a get data which is declared in the public section, and we have void display, and the operator minus has been overloaded in order to perform negation of the values. So I have the get data defined here, display data being defined here, and I have defined the operator function in order to negate the values of the various operands. So to see, this is the way how it actually works. Now let us consider the next example, that's overloading unary operator with the help of a friend function. Now here I have the same program. I have three data members. Okay, I have a member function. The data members are private, the member functions are public. So here what I have is I have a friend function, right? So friend operator, void operator minus. So now here we are passing one argument, that is reference to a particular object, right? Now the get data will be same as that of the previous example. Display data is also same as that of the previous example. Now here what I'm doing is I am placing the operator function as a friend function. So this is the way how we'll define the operator function. So here, since I'm passing a reference to the object, So reference will be an alias. So s dot v1 will be equals to minus of s dot v1. S dot v2 will be equals to minus v. So again, it's negating the values of the members of the object. So here, what I've done is, just see, I've declared an object of type val, that is s, right? Then I've written get data. So get data will read values into v1, v2, and v3 of s. Then it will display the content of s, that will be 10, minus 20, and 30. Then I've called the operator function. Okay, again I've displayed the content of s, so it will negate the values. It will be minus 10, 20, and 30. So this is a very simple example of operator overloading. So in today's class, what we've learned about is, we have learned about what is overloading, right? We have learned about the description of overloading. We have learned about what may be possibly overloaded. Either maybe it may be function, or it may be operator, and we elaborately went through what elaboratively discussed what is operator overloading, what are the criteria for operator overloading, what can be overloaded and what cannot be overloaded, and we have learned about how to call operator function that has been overloaded. We discussed the syntax for overloading, and then we discussed the implementation. We discussed what happens when operator is overloaded using member function, and we discussed what happens when an operator is overloading using friend function, what happens when a unary operator is overloaded, and what happens when a binary operator is overloaded. We've learned about restrictions on operator overloading. We've learned about some of the rules of operator overloading. Okay, and then we discussed examples for overloading unary operator to member function and friend function. Okay, so in next class, what we'll learn about is, we'll learn about overloading binary operators using member function and friend function. Okay, so thank you very much.